Hey, this is Troy Taylor with the Coach McNally podcast, sponsored by Rack Coach and Sports Workbook. I've got my sports workbook here. Make sure you hit up Sports Workbook for your personalized, customized sports workbook. Make sure you hit up Rack Coach. It's the best invention to make your weight room program better. Now, Coach McNally, I want to plug the two things that you have going on. You have
Well, let me say
Coach
something first. Let me say something first.
Go ahead.
I'm on Twitter to give everything for free. I'm not holding back. But a couple of people said, Coach, you're giving out so much stuff, you might as well make some money. So I've got two things where I might make a few bucks, but I'm not greedy, and I didn't send all the videos on Twitter. So then eventually I could make money because I didn't know anything about, how to really make money because I never made much selling videos. So Troy, you can explain it to them.
Go to CoachTube, and Coach McNally's got some older videos, and he will have some newer ones coming out. So go support Coach McNally on CoachTube. And then if you have a player that needs to be evaluated, high school, college, semi-pro, pro football, Coach McNally will evaluate them. That is through Pro Coach. That's Paul Alexander, his disciple. That's his company. All right, so Coach, I'm putting on here now. If you have any questions for Coach, please leave a comment on YouTube or Facebook because we're streaming on a lot of different platforms tonight.
And what I'll do is I'll speak about the video first, and then we'll let the video run because I have it voiced over on most of them. And then we'll ask the questions at the end. And don't make them too complicated. Like, Coach, how do you run a play? Just technique.
All right, you want to talk about this one for him, Coach?
Let's see what it is first.
Oh, my fault. I don't even have it presented.
Okay, this one is tackles blocking down square when the guard is pulling, like a G play. Now, the guard might pull and the center might pull, but they're not necessarily plays on counters where the backside guard and a back pulls or counter tray. It's just generally when the front side guard pulls, because when the tackle blocks down, when the defensive guy sees the guard pull, they'll try to go over the top of the tackle because they know it's a wide play. And also, they'll try to pinch inside, but as long as the play's a wide play, a little penetration inside doesn't hurt. Watch how square the tackle that we're going to show
All right, let's
blocks
watch.
down. Not yet, Coach. Watch how square the tackle blocks down. He's using like an inside post. His inside hand is an uppercut to the chest, and his outside hand is a clamp hand for the guy fighting outside. Now we'll let it run with voiced over. Okay, Coach.
Block. Okay, 72. See him go square. See him like power step inside, hits him in the chest with his right hand, and then a clamp hand. That's on the down block, obviously. All right. Okay, let's watch this right tackle right here, okay? Watch him go down square. If he turns his pads, the guy can beat him over the top or to the inside, okay? Let's see the block. Number 70. All right. Watch him go down square. Okay. All right. Okay, this would be 72. He didn't hit him in the chest very good, though. Okay, he accepted the blow. He didn't play long when he blocked down. I'm sorry, 74. Okay, lock that arm out. Look where his helmet is. It's on the upfield side. Okay, Watch the right guard when he makes contact. See how square he is? Even though he's got a 3 technique on him, he kind of foot fires first.
Now, nobody's pulling here, but it doesn't matter. He's staying square.
Watch 65. He needs to be longer and stronger with his right hand, okay? But he's square, all right?
See, the penetration doesn't matter
because it's a G kind of a play. Now, if it was going right up the middle, it would be different. But anyway, watch the same guy here now, 74. Watch him go down square. Okay, watch 74 here now. Square.
RPO, but it was a run pass still. Okay, so that's that video. Now, don't ask me, well, what do you do if they're running counter? What do you do counter tray? What do you do if you're pulling it? We just want to know about the G play. So now Coach will answer any questions.
Here's the best way to block down versus a solid
All right, Coach,
front.
hold on. Let me check to see. Do we have any questions for Coach? If anybody's got any questions, put it in the chat. Make a comment. We're going to go on to the next play. Coach is going over all this stuff with us. So if you have any questions about any of these techniques, make sure you ask.
All
right, Coach, you want to talk about this one?
Okay, I think this one is when you're blocking the guard down, the tackle down, the center back, and you're pulling the guard and a back, like a counter play versus a double eagle or a solid front. Okay, if you have help from the backside tackle on a post hinge where he steps in and then hinges and helps the center, then both the right guard and the center can post forward first and then block back. Why? Because a lot of times, if the guard blocks down, the right guard, the guy just jumps across his face. If the center blocks back, okay, the 3 technique is always a factor. So the backside guard helping the center allows the center to stab the nose and help the front side guard. The front side guard stabbing the man on the 4-eye before he blocks down on the nose helps the right tackle's block. So here you will see 2 snaps, and the second snap, the backside tackle didn't come far enough to help the center. But this, if you have backside tackle post hinge help, this is the best way to block a solid front or a double eagle or 2-3 techniques in a 0 or 2 4-eyes in a 0. Okay, Coach, let her go.
Wyatt Bode has a comment. He said, so not good to turn your shoulders. Absolutely.
Absolutely not. You turn your shoulders, they can beat you inside because you haven't come square enough, and they can beat you over the top.
2 4-eyes or 2 3s, or both guards are covered with a nose guard. Okay, let's watch. Okay, let's watch the front side guard, see what he does. The tackle can still come down square, even if the guy's in a 3, but watch the guard. See him punch or try to punch that 3, and then he goes down on the nose. Watch the center punch the nose and then block back. But he had some good help by the backside tackle, hinging, okay? Rather than the right guard block down and the center block back right now, the right guard and the center should hand check the 3 and then go down or go back right now. Try to stay square when you go back. The tackle can stay square, okay? All right. Now, the second one is beautiful, except the backside tackle needs to come a little further, all right? So watch the front side guard, okay? Watch what he does. Boom. See him help that right tackle. The right tackle can stay square like the earlier films. Watch the center. See him hit that nose? Boom. Okay, he sets him up. Okay, if you just go down and down, they'll go over the top of you. Watch the center go back. but the left tackle left that guy too soon. He's got to almost go down to the center and then hinge back, or even back up if he has to get the guy. But everybody asked how to block the solid defense, and those are the best two ways.
And this is when there's two pullers backside. Coach, could you just, I got to go take a pill. It'll take me 30 seconds. Could you
yes, sir. I'll see if there's any questions
while I get my pill.
Go take your pill, Coach.
Yeah.
All right. So Coach has worked hard. Coach has made over 250 posts this week. And he's got a lot of video he wants to go over because there's so many questions. He answers over 50 questions a day on Twitter. So if you have any questions about anything Coach has posted over the week, this is your time to get clarification. He doesn't really want to answer big picture questions about plays. But if you have a question, put it in the chat. Now, Coach is back.
Okay. Now, the first video we saw, let's stop. Wait a minute. Run it back one more time. Let's stop it right there.
Here's the best way to block down versus.
The very first one we talked about was just on a G play. Okay, where the tackle was blocking down and the front guard was pulling. Okay, this one is a counter play where they're either pulling a guard and a back, a guard and a tight end, but it's not counter tray, because on counter tray, the backside tackle would be pulling, and that's totally different. So when you have, that's why the counter tray went out of commission for a long time in college and the NFL, because the center couldn't block back on that three. So they decided to pull the guard and a back, or the guard and a tight end that was off the ball. That's why the counter tray, went out of existence for a long time, because the poor damn center has trouble blocking back against those great three techniques. Okay, next. Questions? None, right?
None, Coach.
Okay, all right, now, let's stop. Run it back. All right. This is the right guard using a jump. He's blocking Aaron Donald. You see the guys with the Rams helmets? The Bengals were scrimmaging the Rams. The Rams came to Cincinnati the week of the preseason game, so they scrimmage each other. So the guard is a long ways away from you can't even see him. You see his foot, the guy that's in the 4-eye or a 4. So he works laterally first. He foot fires sideways. He stays inside out. Then he steps forward with his outside foot, which is what we call an up kick. And he uses his outside arm and his outside foot to go forward, which is jumping. Now, what I mean by jumping, you close the space by going forward. Watch how he stones Donald. And he should drive his inside elbow back. But anyway, there's a lot of intricacies to this. But watch just a normal, good playing right guard block the greatest defensive lineman in present day football. Okay, Coach.
Coach, do we want to play the Eagles in the background?
Yeah, you can play the Eagles because they're my favorite group.
This is killing the beast here, ain't it?
Nobody understands this kind of block. Run it back. Yeah, keep it going. Oh, there's an up kick, Coach. See where his helmet is?
I'm not cocky. I'm a nice guy, but I'm the only one that knows how to teach it.
Well, see, he's protecting the inside with where his hat is, but he's protecting the outside with the outside arm. This is the best technique you can use when you're on the man side versus a 3 technique, a tight 3, a 4-eye, blah, blah, blah. But the coaches that just normal pass block, they get their ass kicked. Jumping should be your mode.
Now there's an up
This is
kick,
a jump.
coach. And you know I'm not cocky. I'm a nice guy, but I'm the only one that knows how to teach it.
That's true.
Let's see, here you go, Coach. We got a couple. What do you mean by up kick?
Up kick means the normal kick foot, which is the outside foot on a kick slide. The outside foot, instead of going back on a kick step, goes forward. So it goes up. That's the only reason why we call it an up. It really doesn't kick back. It kicks forward. So you should really call it an up step.
I mean, some people call it a jump. What do they call it? A jump step, Coach?
No, if you jumped with both feet, we call that a forward jump. But if you just jumped with the outside foot, we call it the up kick.
The up kick.
Yeah, you could call it the up step.
But look how he stones Aaron Donald.
Boom. He hits him right in the face.
Where's he trying to punch, Coach? Right at his throat?
Well, it's kind of natural. If you run it back when he punches, see him reach with his arm. So the point I guess I'm making is whatever is a natural 45-degree punch, if the guy was closer to him, he might punch him in the face. Okay? If he was right on him, he would punch him in the face. If he was wide, he might only punch him down the middle. So your arm goes on kind of a normal, it doesn't go way over here. It doesn't go way up inside. It's just kind of I would say you punch on a 45-degree angle, okay, when the guy is wide. When the guy is tighter, you almost aim for his face mask. But you really ought to, if you wanted exact aiming points, probably the outside number. Okay, the only time you'd punch him in the face is if he's real tight to you. And then what happens when you punch him in the face, that kind of shocks him and it gets him all out of whack.
We're going to talk about you.
Music. All right, now this is me explaining, I believe, how to keep your shoulders square, particularly if you're a tackle going to your outside or anybody going to your inside. So you're pass blocking. Let's see what I'm saying here.
All right, James Hubbard has a question. I think this is about the up kick.
Okay.
On his first step, it's tight, then goes out, kind of like a two-step. Is that trained or a habit of a player like that?
No, we teach them if the guy's wide, move laterally first with foot fire. It might be 2 quick steps, then step, whatever we got to do to get as square as we can on a guy, but being inside out. If he just went right now, the guy's so wide that he would beat him. So he's trying to get as square as he can on him. Okay, if he was in like a tight 3, he would just step forward with his outside foot. Okay? The wider he is, he foot fires laterally first to get as square as he can on the guy with his helmet inside.
Bald Coach K says the GOAT. James Hubbard says thanks. J Hub is from Petersburg, Virginia.
Okay. To stay square, okay?
Can
Let's
they hear
say
it?
I'm moving that way.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Can you hear it?
I can, yeah.
And I drop this foot, okay? Like I'm pass blocking and I'm going to my outside. Or maybe I'm the right guard and right tackle and I'm blocking down to the inside, okay? To keep the shoulders square, as this foot moves, Watch how I pigeon toe it. Okay, I don't open up that foot like that. So if I was going to my outside to stay square, and I kind of pigeon-toed that foot and pumped this arm, okay? Now, basically, this foot will never really be able to turn way in. It'd be too awkward. But if you open it up that way, your second step's going to come like that, and you're going to turn. Okay, let's say I go inside. Say I'm the right guard, I pass block, the guy pinches inside. I drop my post foot to stay in front of him and move to the inside so I can move. I don't lock my hip. So when I do drop that inside foot, I drop it and I try to pigeon toe it. I drop it and I try to pigeon toe it. Boom! As I'm moving inside, that'll keep my shoulders square. So whichever foot you move, if you want to stay square, okay, and you've dropped that foot, it's like a brace foot, okay, pigeon toe it where the toe points inside, and at least try to stay parallel, okay, or when I say parallel up and down. Don't turn the foot. Most of you won't even understand what I just said. I hope you do. Okay.
Coach, you want to say anything about that?
No, so this would be, I no longer use the power step, the post foot, even though I semi-invented it, because when you power step or drive your inside foot laterally or slightly upfield, you lock that hip. And if they beat you inside, you're dead. But when you drop your post foot, okay, you become like you're the other side guard or tackle, okay? And you're like kick sliding to stay in front of the guy. And as long as you pigeon toe that inside foot, you won't turn and just turn your pads, whatever. So I learned that from my players, because 90% of them, when the guy went inside, it was too awkward to pound the post foot. And they dropped the post foot naturally. So anyway, whichever foot you're leading with, try to keep it as square as you can by pigeon toeing it, which, unless you are a pigeon toed guy and walk pigeon toed, most people walk with their feet ducked out like me. Okay. So it's hard to pigeon toe your foot, but at least you could get it so it's at least square when you're moving. No
All right,
question?
Coach, you want to talk about this one? Yeah,
No
we don't have any
right?
questions. No questions.
All right. This, by far, no questions. I'm sure, 100% sure. I don't need any haters to tell me I'm full of shit. Okay. Let's say this is the backside tackle, the second guy to your left, or it could be the backside guard going in to get a nose guard, and they're on the backside of say a wide zone or a mid zone, not an inside zone. The fastest way to cut a guy off is to have the guy keep his feet parallel and slightly wide. Now, in high school, they'll never figure it out. In college, they'll never figure it out. And in the pros, they're not as smart as you think they are. So if you change your stance a little bit or whatever. So this left tackle, if you'll note, his base is fairly wide and he's more parallel. Now, when you're more parallel and don't have a stagger with your back foot or your left foot, you can pivot on your heel. What I mean by pivot on your heel, instead of pivoting on your toe, if you pivoted on your toe, your next step would have to cross over too high and your hips would be locked. But when you pivot on your heel, you can cross over and save a step and get there twice as fast. What you should really do is then lift with your backside hand like a cup coming under, and get it in the middle of that guy's chest and lift him and then try to square up on him. So this is the backside tackle trying to overtake a 3 technique. It's just practice, but the coaching point is he's using a heel it technique. He's not dropping that foot. He's not taking an angle step. He's not taking a lead step. He's pivoting on his heel. Okay, let's watch him. No, go back. You got to go back. Yeah, because it only shows that for one play. Yeah, okay, there you go. Run that back a couple of times and watch the heel, the right heel. There you go. Put it back one more time again if you can. No, one back. Back. Yeah, there you go. Watch his right heel. Heel pivots. Okay, that's enough on that. Okay, drop that play. Okay, now we're going to the next play. Any questions on the heel it?
Watch the backside tackle. Just cross over, like I talked about last night, and fit the long arm reach in. Watch the right guard stay on the line of scrimmage and not just pierce.
Okay, stop. Any questions on the heel it? I don't want to fucking talk about the guard. I'm just talking about, I only want to talk about the technique I'm talking about, because then we get into too many fucking questions about, well, coach, should the guard, is this an inside zone? This would be a mid to wide zone, not a tight zone, and he's got to cut off that 3.
All right, Wyatt wants to know, so it's a turn and run essentially.
Yes, but you've got to have your inside foot parallel, because if your inside foot is forward and your outside foot is staggered, like a left-handed stance, you can't cross in front of your right toe because your right foot would be too far forward and it would be too awkward and you couldn't do it. You have to be parallel so you could cross over the heel it technique by the lead foot. Who's ever got a question needs to stand up right now and try it. Just drive the heel into the ground and turn it and pivot.
You want to keep going on this one?
Next play.
Left guard, deep shuffle.
Next play.
Left.
No, that was the last play. Oh, let's see what this. What's this?
At the same time or okay, I'll try to talk about hand strikes on pass protection.
Okay, stop it.
Okay, you can.
Okay. Bottom line is.
All right, Steve's got a question, Coach.
He's too late with it. Fuck.
First heard the heel it technique from Bad Rad. I tell the centers to use the heel it technique.
That's where I learned it from. Bad Rad from the Steelers.
Wow.
He used it with Jim Sweeney at the Jets.
Man.
Can do two hands at the same.
Okay, stop.
You want to talk about this one?
Yes. So on pass blocking, I only teach my centers and guards and tackles a lot to jump, go forward. No kick slides, going backwards, back up, blah, blah, blah. Only on crazy defenses, they might kind of set normal. So these are the combinations of the hand usage when I jump a guy. When I go forward, like I foot fire your feet. Bah, 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 bah. Bah, 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 bah. I might up kick. I might take both feet and go forward. But I think I'm talking here about the different types of hand usages to strike a guy when you're going to jump him, because I don't use that other kind of pass blocking where you just back up. I want to short set the guy. Howard Mudd taught me, he said, set short or shorter. That means jump the fuck out of them. You get them before they get you. You're not reading them. they've got to read you. Okay, Coach.
Okay, I'll try to talk about hand strikes on pass protection. Okay, you can do them two hands at the same time or alternate hands. I like alternate hands. But let's talk about the first thing, all right? If I just strike with the heel of my hand to the breastplate, okay, we call that a pillar, all right? If I grab the bicep, okay, grab the bicep, okay, that's a clamp, okay? If I come under, okay, then that's an under or a lift, okay, all right. If I call a snatch, that's when I grab right underneath, I keep my hands tight and I grab right underneath the whatever, okay. So if I wanted to do a pillar, okay, and then bring it back, pillar and a lift, that would be a combination. If I want to do a double pillar, boom. Okay, if I wanted to do a single under with my outside hand, boom. Single under with my inside hand, boom. A double under, boom. Okay, a single clamp, boom. That would be my outside hand, and it may follow with an inside lift. So it may be a 1-2 or whatever numbers you give them that. Okay, when would you use a double clamp? Let's say you're a big guy and you just want to control him. So you foot fire into him and you grab both of his biceps and then refit or whatever. Okay, now on a counter move, here's what a clog is. Okay, a defensive guy, my hands are high or whatever. A defensive guy tries to fit his hands underneath you and you take your elbow and snap it down. You don't let him reset his hands. I'll stop there because I don't want the video to be too long. Okay, so, well, I can go just a little bit longer. Okay, so a trap, that you feel the guy pressuring you. So you back up or hop a little bit and you knock his hands down. Okay, whether you use one hand, this hand, both hands. So I covered the clog and I covered the trap.
Yes, the counter moves. If you want to practice the moves, you're in a drill and you tell the player, I want you to use a 1-2. A 1 might be a pillar, a 2 might be a clamp, or whatever numbers you give the pillars, the clamps, the lifts, the snatches, okay, blah, blah, blah. You can't give them a counter move because you don't know what kind of counter move you need to use. So your counters, okay, are the things that you do after they do their defensive move on you. And if you look at Scott Peters, just his written material, he will give you on the page 3, he'll show you the 3 counters that he uses. He'll show you the counters he uses. I put that on my Twitter page, so you'll have to flip up and down and you'll see them somewhere. Whatever. So bottom line is, I was discussing hand usage, okay, and you give them all a number, okay? So let's say I'm going to use my outside hand, okay, on the breastplate. That's a pillar. That might be a 1. The inside hand on the inside breastplate might be a 2. Okay, an outside clamp, okay, or I'm clamping the bicep might be a 3. An inside clamp might be a 4. Okay, an outside lift might be a 5. An inside lift might be a 6. So you can tell your guys, I want you to use a 2-3. I want you to use a 1-4. I want you to do what? So they can practice these alternate hand strikes in a drill so that in a game, when they see their opponent and the coach is coaching them, the player themselves will figure out, geez, the best technique against this guy is a 1-3 or a double clamp, a 3-4, or whatever the words you would use. So that's how the Cleveland Browns and Scott Peters and Bill Callahan teach their alternate hand strikes that might be 2 hands at the same time, which would be like let's say you want to do 2 hands at the same time, okay, and clamp their jersey. That might be a 34. Let's say you want to do this clamp and that clamp. It might be a 3-4. Do you see me when I put the two words together? 34, they're at the same time. Say I wanted to use a double lift. Say lifts are 5 and 6, for example. Okay, give me a 56. If I just said, give me a 5-6, it might be boom, boom. So you label the strikes and you practice them. You can do this in junior high school, okay? Period. Whatever the strikes you teach, but obviously you've got to know that we're not just using the normal pass blocking, whatever. We're using alternate strikes because why? One arm is longer than two. One arm is longer than two. A lift, you can lift them out of your shoes. A clamp, you can control their biceps, okay? And it's just like the clamp when the guy beats you inside and you clamp him, okay? So I don't want to get too complicated because I don't want the questions to be too complicated. If you don't understand it, don't ask a question. If you kind of understand it, then ask a simple question. No, it's too hard. It's too fucking hard.
What are the minimum? What are the minimum number of hand strikes that you need?
That depends on the coach.
Well,
What he feels he can teach. Are they 8th graders or are they juniors and seniors?
juniors and seniors.
Oh shit. I'd use a punch to the chest, which would be a pillar. I'd use a clamp. I'd use a lift. Probably those would be the ones I'd use, whether it's with the inside hand or the outside hand. But I like the alternate hands. Now the up kick, okay, is just the outside hand. So that would be just a plain up kick jump, because you always use your outside hand. So it'd be an up kick jump and an inside lift. So let's say that's a 1-4, okay, whatever. Because that guy that up kicked Donald, I think he tried to do he did the outside pillar, and then I think he was trying to do an inside lift.
Okay,
But
let's talk about.
but what I'm saying is, these guys listening, you got to understand that if this is like Greek to you, then you're listening to the wrong guy, because it's fucking common sense, right? Once I present it, it should be common sense, and then you figure it out. Don't make me figure it out for you.
Footwork on pass protection. If I just, for example, said, give me a normal 1-3 or whatever the combination would be. Normal would be, let's say I'm the right guard and the guy's outside
Normal
of me.
means normal
Maybe it's
pass
like a little
blocking, not jumping, which I
bit of
don't
a
do.
kick
I
slide.
hate.
Or
Unless it's a tackle and he's got a wide guy. Go ahead, let it speak.
maybe it's just a foot fire, but it's not going forward. Okay. Maybe if you put a guy inside of him, okay, give me a normal, whatever the combination is. So normal might be I drop my post foot and I move to the inside. I'm not going forward. Okay. Okay. Let's say I've got a wide guy. Okay. And I said, give me a normal, whatever. So it might be a tackle on a kick slide. I might say, give me a normal A. That might be a flat angle. Give me a normal C. Okay. Now, if I said, give me a forward jump would be foot firing forward into the guy using whatever combination. Maybe the guy's a little wide and I got to move laterally before I foot fire forward. That's called a forward jump. Okay. If I said, give me an up kick with the number, that would be my outside foot going forward. Okay. If the guy's a little wide, I may have to foot fire and go forward. If I said, give me a post, an up post, excuse me, give me an up post, okay, jump, okay? That would mean I'd be stepping up with my forward foot, okay, using whatever combination, okay? So anyway, jumping is either a forward jump, foot firing, or some sort of an up kick or an up post. But you can label that with the numbers on the strikes to get the combination of the kids doing all the techniques.
In practice, you
I
do
hope
this. You do this in practice because you don't ever know in the game what the kid's mental thing is that you've worked on all week, and say, hey, this week, this technique is best against this guy. We got to have questions, right?
No questions, Coach. Nobody's saying anything.
Thank fucking God. Okay. I think this is a play. These are plays. Go to the next guy.
So skip it.
Skip it.
Skip
okay,
it.
we'll see what. Oh, no. Let's see what this is.
Counter tray.
Okay, let's skip it. I don't want to talk about that. Too complicated. Next.
Another counter tray.
Skip that. What's this?
Scissors.
Yeah. We called this.
This was the scissors too. You want to do the scissors first?
Yeah.
Hundreds of clips of different kinds.
Go to the next one. When I was with the Giants, a guy named Mike Pope and I really invented scissors plays. Scissors plays are where you hand the ball over the top to the running back, and he tries to go outside. He goes from the butt of the tackle, if there's a hole, to try to get it outside. So we would pull the play side guard or the backside guard or whatever. And then we decided versus an over defense, a 3 technique and a shade, we could pull both guards. So here's a counter play with like the fullback leading one way, and you don't need a fullback, okay? But what I'm saying is both guards will pull, but you can only do it to the play side of a 3 technique. And the key is the tackle that blocks down versus the 3 has got to put his head in front of him. If you don't, that tackle will pick off the other guard pulling. So we called this, whatever number we used, 32 both scissors. Maybe we started to the right with a 32 play, and scissors meant we went the other way. So watch these both guards pull. One guy's usually got the force or the outside guy, the other guy's got the inside guy.
But you can only run it to the 3 technique side. The key is the tackle blocking down on the 3 needs to almost put his head across so he doesn't knock off the opposite guard. Okay, let's watch. Here we go. Watch both guards pull. See the left tackle block down.
Stepped.
If he doesn't put his head across the guy and cut him if legal, he'll trip the other guard. All right. Here we go. To the 3 technique. Both
See, we kind of
pulling.
cut him. We tried to really
Ball's handed off over the top.
Him. I don't think you can do that
2
now
pullers.
in high school, but devastating plays. Counter plays.
Okay. Okay.
This is one
the pullers take a jab step. The back takes a jab step.
And you're really booking the backside linebacker. You're not even blocking the backside linebacker if you don't have a lead back that way.
Got to block the
Run
force.
the other back if you can, Coach.
The pull.
So the backside inside backer is free.
Okay.
Because you don't have that lead back faking over there.
The pullers take a jab step. The back takes a jab step. Wide receivers generally got to block the force.
It's like buck sweep.
Yeah. It's like a G play with a counter step action. Okay.
Running it to the 3.
I've never seen the offensive lineman counter step on the pull like that.
Now here, the second puller isn't the other guard.
For the end man. Second guard pulls up in the hole.
I'm sorry. It is my error. Yeah.
We call this both
fullback
scissors.
inserted.
Run it back. Where's the fullback?
He's in the play side A gap. He inserted on the
Second guard.
backside inside backer.
I don't
Bring
see
it
him.
to the
Isn't it
three.
just one back?
Right here.
Tackle blocks
Oh,
down.
okay, yeah. That's right. He inserted from the other side.
First guard pulls for the end man. Second guard pulls up in the hole.
Just like the
call this
op formation
both
teams used to run the
scissors.
buck sweep.
Okay, now the second puller was a back. Watch the left guard pull. Okay. And the back pull.
That was the front
the
side
back.
guard.
Okay.
Yep,
And the back pull.
because you
Okay.
run it to the 3 technique.
And the back pull. That's what we call both scissors. Where we
Okay.
All right, so we got a couple questions. Wyatt, what was that? It steps there on the down block, his inside foot.
That was the old reverse shoulder block. Okay. Whether you crossed over right now or you lead stepped on an angle and stepped on an angle, it was the old school down block with your head in front of the guy. Like you hit a big bag in the old days when you used to teach blocking down in 1920.
Yeah, get your head across. How does he not go short on the block? That's what Wyatt says.
I don't know what the hell that question means.
All right, so Wyatt, if you want to clarify that. All right, he hasn't responded back, Coach. What do you think about this next one right here?
Wait a minute now. What does short mean? Why does he not go short on the block? That's Greek to me. I don't understand. I'm not mad at Wyatt. I don't know what he means.
With his inside foot up towards defender.
Because if he doesn't go head across, he'll pick off the other guard. The penetration into that A gap by that 3 technique will pick off the other guard.
All right, got you, Coach.
Good. Now, this is just all the different scissors we ran, and it's all Greek to anybody. So, but we ran a number of different ways to run those scissors plays. So, you can go to the next one.
And back.
Those are bends. Those are where the back starts into the line and then bends all the way back. They're not over the top
scissors
handoffs.
where the running back starts this way and then bends back, and the quarterback hands the ball
No,
in
they're
front of him.
counters.
It's not scissors where the back jabs and the ball's handed up over the top. So these are all the bend backs that I have. Okay.
Yeah, in the
So you can see
in college
all
and
of
pro,
these
you can't
things
run the
right
same
here.
play over and over again.
You
gotta
can't
have
run
these-
ISO every single play.
So
Yeah, you gotta
now
have some of these counter
bend
counter
plays.
scissors
The
bends
ball
in.
starts this way and bends back. Quarterback hands the ball in front of him and he bends back. But all the different ways that those bend plays are run, they're really counters with the ball handed off in front and the back going towards the line of scrimmage before he bends it back, and not
Want to go over this, Coach?
Okay, this is let me talk first. This was originally the things that we saw early. If you're just running a regular G play in the first diagram, see how the tackle stays square and the guard pulls? It's because you don't want that tackle to come over the top. Okay? It could be the same thing if you pulled the center on a G play. Okay? Maybe you pull the tackle and the center. Maybe you pull the tackle and the guard, not the backside people now. The third one is if you have backside help versus a double eagle on a counter type of a play. That's where you saw the guard stab the 3 or the 4 eye and go back. You saw the center stab the nose and go back. And you saw that backside tackle help. Okay. Now, what's hard is if you pull the backside guard and tackle, that center doesn't have any help from that backside tackle. So here, they have to block down, but I still think you can probably block back square. Remember about 25 or 30 videos ago, I showed you how that center from Michigan State blocked back versus the 3 technique. Okay, so again, the last 2 are counter tray type things where it's a little harder for the center to block back on that guy. But I would still do like Kevin Mawai talked about at the Cool Clinic, that I still think you can stay square even though you don't have the backside tackle to post in and hinge by skipping with the offside foot parallel, not losing ground where you'll trip the guard and tackle. So anyway, there's a G play on the first 2, and then there's a counter with a back and a guard pulling on the 3rd play. Then there's the counter tray with the last 2.
To clear up any confusion on pulling plays, here the right tackle can stay square blocking down because the guard is pulling on a G play, like on a semi-wide type of play. There will be a tight end there usually, obviously. I'll draw him here, blocking, okay, whatever. Okay, so there's a tight end, a tackle, a guard. The tackle can stay square. Same thing here. Let's draw a tight end here. You know, maybe they pull the tackle too. The point I'm saying is, let's say you pull the center. The guard can stay totally square because this guy has a high chance to loop back over the top when he sees this guy pull or he sees this guy pull. Now, when you run a counter with the guard and the back leading, okay, 2 people, the backside tackle can come in and help on this guy, then hinge back. You see, then start to hinge back to block the backside end. Then the center can stab the nose and then block back, staying fairly square. This guard can stab and then block back because the center's delayed himself, because we've got 2 pullers, okay, and we've got help by the backside tackle. Okay, let's go to counter tray. Now there is no backside help for the center. The guard is pulling, the tackle is pulling, everybody else has to block down. Here's where you may have seen more of the shoulders turn because the center's got to go right now, okay? This would be the same counter tray versus like a 3-4 defense or a 50 defense. Okay, the center's got to leave now. My premise is the center can still stay square, skipping with his offside foot, and these guys can stay square, skipping with their offside foot. But you didn't see a lot of these in the video because those were all older videos where you saw these guys blocking down, okay? So again, there's a G play, okay? And then there's a play where just the guard and the back plays, and then there's plays where the guard and tackle both pull.
Any questions?
Any questions? We got no questions, Coach.
Watch how square the center is blocking back on this.
There's the center staying
Okay, go ahead.
totally square, blocking back on a 3 technique. Someone asked me that question, and I found it. He was so square that he could grab the front side 1 technique and grab him with his left hand. Let's see how square he is now, okay? Let's see that center blocking back. He doesn't really turn his pads at all, maybe 2 inches. He doesn't turn on an angle. See what he's able to do? He's able to grab that front side 1 technique or gap guy. Okay, so anyway.
And he's got
that center may
help.
not be totally perfect, but just visualize him skipping with the left foot and not losing ground. His shoulders will be totally square. This is another reason to do it. for any of those tackle twists. So I found one, at least the best I could.
That's
Okay,
Michigan
Coach.
State Center.
Steve has joined us, Coach. The reason y'all stopped teaching that getting ahead across down blocking is because people would just jump over the top, right?
Absolutely. We used to be able to leg whip them, but now you can't do that anymore. So
Man.
that's why we stay square. And it's better anyway. Square is the best you can be on all blocks, on any block, unless it's impossible, like that play where we pulled both guards on that scissors, where that one tackle had to really get his head in front because he would pick the other guard. I would not turn my pads. I would not turn my pads on anything. If I had to make up ground, I might foot fire laterally in the direction of the guy I've got to block. Squarer is stronger. Stay as square as you can for as long as you can.
What you got, Steve? What are you thinking?
No, I love it. Coach, when you were talking about the counter when against a solid front, a double eagle front, when the center is blocking back, but before he's stabbing, obviously, to help the play side guard blocking down, he's stepping. So just picture, okay, so obviously left guard's pulling. So I'm going to, obviously, my responsibility as center is blocking back. But before I do that, I'm stepping left, right, stab, and third step.
No. I'm just stepping with my right foot.
So you're stepping directly with your right foot. You're not going foot fire, 1, 2, boom, and land.
No. Because he's right on you.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay.
Boom. Okay. And that's the same thing with the front side guard. He's stepping
Near.
say I'm the right guard. I'm stepping towards that 3 or 4. I'm stepping forward.
Yeah.
And then I get myself back laterally, if I can, to go down on the nose. But don't forget, the center has really stabbed the hell out of that nose.
Yeah.
Because he's right on him.
Yeah.
But you might be right. If that nose is flexed and I can't reach him, I might have to foot fire forward.
Yeah. Because I think sometimes we've done it both ways, but again, depending what the situation is and where the technique is. Correct. That makes sense.
But if you don't have backside tackle help, you can't use that combination.
Correct. You got to have the gap hinge or you call it the post hinge, whatever. Absolutely. Yeah, that makes sense. Correct.
Put the post hinge, yes, on the backside. Now, I still think, even though I haven't coached it, I still think if you didn't have tackle help and you were pulling the back guard and tackle, that the center and the front side guard can go lateral skipping with their opposite foot.
Yeah.
For example, the center goes back left. He can skip with his right foot, square, lateral. The right guard can skip. When I say skip, they're not skipping back. They're just moving the opposite foot to gain a step.
Yeah.
To stay square, because you have the same issue. When you're pulling the guard and tackle on the backside and you turn your pads, you're probably going to get beat over the top versus good guys. And that's why they run those RPOs, or the quarterback keeps it on a naked and all that other stuff, because good defensive teams, when you block down, they go over the top of you in a heartbeat.
Yeah. That makes sense. No, the squareness makes so much sense. It really does. And it's the right way to do it. Obviously it is. Yes. Thank you.
Good.
Yeah.
Next question, Coach.
Now, Coach, let me ask you about the gap hinge on the tackle. I mean, that's pretty basic. I mean, inside foot, driving his inside hand into that whatever piece he can get of that defender, and then hinging back and high walling the guy.
Yeah. The thing about it is, though, I would drop that inside foot so I don't lock that foot like you're locking a post foot. I would drop that inside foot to make it easier to move, okay? And then after I punch that 3, even if I have to go way in, I back straight up. Because that end man may be so fast, if you just try to turn and hinge on him, he will beat you.
Yeah, no, that's Coach. That's a great coaching point. I kind of use the term high wall them, where you're going upfield, so you're going to catch them upfield. So no, so yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It really does, especially.
Yeah, you backpedal as fast as you can.
Yes,
As
sir.
fast as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like as I said, and like I say, because there's a lot of times where you got to really have presence on that 3 technique.
Have to.
Okay, now you don't have to have as much presence if the center's blocking back and turns his pads, but if the center's stabbing first, then coming back, the center's delayed. So
Yeah.
that backside tackle has to stay on that 3 a little longer, but he just backpedals like old school, back straight up on pass blocking.
Yes. Now let me ask you this, Coach. Okay, you play action off of that. The backside tackle, is that the same technique as you're trying to sell the play act, trying to sell the run, but throwing off that same action, or for the tackle?
Yeah, I would throw off. I mean, if I wanted to, yeah, I'd block it the same way, because I don't know how you're still going to have the same issues blocking down with
Right.
guys coming over the top and then freeing up to hit the quarterback. I don't think I've ever ran a play action pass off a counter tray unless it was a pure naked.
Yeah. I guess I'm thinking more power than. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, unless it was a naked right off the counter trade. But
No, but on power, you have backside tackle help. So yes, but a lot of times what makes it a lot easier is if you have a backside tight end.
yes.
Even if you just have 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, then that backside tackle can stay on that 3 technique forever, and they can double them, and you got a tight end there. But a lot of times the tight ends can't block the end men anyway. I mean, they get beat half the time. And in the NFL, when the tight end blocks a defensive end, pass or run, they get beat 99% of the time. So I don't know why coaches really spend much time on that, but they do.
That makes a lot of sense. Because if you're a defensive coach and you're coaching the end, if you're telling me you're getting beat by a tight end, we are in trouble.
Absolutely. Yep.
Oh, that's good. The only thing concerned about using shoots is guys are so worried about getting low. They think ducking their head's getting low. That's not getting low, because all you're doing is putting yourself in a vulnerable.
I don't like shoots.
I don't either.
I agree. I'm just saying I get a lot of coaches say, "Hey, coach, you got good pulling drills." So I just pulled that one out.
Yeah. I think sometimes shoots really develop bad habits. I think it lowers your head, and then people want to, get your back.
I would never use them.
Yeah.
I would never use them, because all of my blocks are ass down,
Yep.
head up.
Yeah.
Okay. Like this is your ass,
Yep.
and your head is up. No, like this. Yeah. Like that. Okay. A little bit like this. Actually, like 1920 Newt Rockney, old linemen lined up with their asses almost on the ground like a gorilla in the zoo.
Yes.
I'm always hitting on the rise.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep.
When you go through a chute, your head's going to hit the chute.
That's right. And then,
right.
Yeah, I agree.
These are skip pulls that are nothing. Their guard would never block a zero nose guard. He'd have to block the linebacker over him. So this is the closest thing I could find where both guards were blocking towards the nose guard.
A wedge.
Which I've never seen before.
This is a wedge.
Than if you had a play like, I don't know what kind of play, unless you were triple teaming the nose guard.
Wedge.
Anyway, this was for a high school kid. But watch how square the right guard is, because he can come back and help the right tackle. So forget the left guard, because it was a good question by a young kid, but I didn't understand his question. So the left guard obviously turned his pads too much. Okay. Run it back. All right. Okay, here's the backside guard on a tight zone. He takes a 3-step approach. Do you see? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And he should end up with a high inside leg.
Yeah. That's your scoot.
Yep. That's a scoot.
Yep.
Hey,
And
Coach,
the
let me ask
reason
you.
he slows down, he doesn't know that the backside end isn't going to pinch.
Right.
Coach, so he's zoning to the left. His inside leg should be up, or should his outside leg be up?
His inside leg should drop.
Should drop.
His outside leg should come parallel. And on his 3rd step, if the nose is close to him, he should have a forward leg.
Yeah.
But the nose disappeared too.
Yeah. Coach, that guard's thought process as he's stepping, 1, 2, 3, he should see hip away eventually and then work, obviously keep the pace going as needed. Don't pierce it too quickly. Like you said.
Yes, right. And he's not.
Right. Perfect. Yes. I like the pace that he's doing. Exactly.
See, he picked up the other linebacker.
He sure did. 1, 2, 3, boom. Yep. And that's a beautiful thing when you can see their numbers.
All right, now, just slow this down. Go back to your start. This will blow the wide zone coaches that were taught to pierce the line of scrimmage, turn their pads on an angle, etc. This is wide zone blocking, but I call it mid zone. I'm sorry, let's go again. Run it back one more time. This is, you got to start it. Stop. Go back. Okay. If the back's in the gun, he's coming across the formation. He could be in the eye or the pistol, and he could be running a wide zone course. But the linemen are blocking what I call mid-zone blocking. The right guard, number 68, ends up picking up the front side 1 technique. 68 ends up picking up the guy that's on the inside eye of the left guard. Watch the moving wall. So you might have to run it back. Let me talk through, maybe it's voiced. Let's see. Oh, it's not. Okay, watch the right guard first. Watch who he picks up. Watch who the center picks up. Let it go. Or that's me doing it. Run it back. Watch do it again. Yeah, run that one back again if you can. Watch the center on this next one. You see, nobody's vacating the line.
No, I love it. It's like a chorus line.
Yeah. If you vacated, you couldn't do this.
Yeah.
Watch the center here versus a 3-4 defensive nose guard that slants clear backside. The center helps on the front side end pinching.
Hey, Coach, we got a question from Wyatt. He said, how long should he hang on that center's hip generally on that inside zone play? I think that was from the previous clip we had shown.
Common sense. Run it back one more from the start of this one. Back. You got to go back a little, Coach.
Yeah, but this is the play right here, right?
No. Previous play. Yeah, this one. Watch the center. He's got a zero nose on him. Watch who he picks up. Or he helps. Watch how he hammers that in. He couldn't do that if he didn't get depth.
Ooh, he smashed him.
Right about most centers would just protect the front side gap, and that pinching guy would just come in there. Watch what the center does to the pinching end. Boom. The inside guy should always hammer the guy out. Blast him. Watch the right tackle. Watch what he does. See him slam that guy before he goes to second level?
Yes.
Well, that.
He's rewinding back. Boom. And pump. Yeah, that's awesome.
Watch the backside guy skip.
Yeah, quick skip.
Mm-hmm. Watch the backside guard.
Wow.
That was an RPO, so. I guess that's the start, right?
That's 142. He goes to 215.
Watch the right guard and right tackle. That's what I call a torque and a hammer. See the guy over the right tackle two gap? That's where you take the two gapper and torque him out, and the next guy kills him. Let's see if they do it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can go back 2 plays so they could see that again. Go back. Yeah, not this one, just the previous. No, the next one. No, the next one. Yeah, this one, I think. Watch the right guard and right tackle. Jesus Christ, come on. See the torque of the right tackle? See the help of the right guard? That's moving a guy laterally to make a bigger hole than just pushing on him. Okay.
Coach, that's because that defensive end, he's defenseless against that hammer. He really is, because he's taking on that block with the tackle, and that guard comes in and hammers the heck out of him. Then he's being torqued by the tackle. That's awesome.
That's what we call a torque and a hammer, and that's used against two gap players, whether it's an inside zone or a wide zone.
Yes, sir.
Now, this is a combination on pass. Okay, let me talk. Thank you. This is the left guard from the Eagles named Wisniewski. This is a couple of years ago, of using the combination of an outside pillar and an inside lift. Now, he's not jumping him. He's just kind of setting in place. But you can see the combination of the 1-2. Okay, Coach. That's why you always should hold the inside hand low,
Mm.
because if they get the inside hand knocked down, that's the direct route to the quarterback. Okay, we're done with that. Any questions?
Yep. That's on the Bob side, right? He's one. Yep.
Okay, now watch this.
Drill.
This proves it all. Don't say
The guy in red is, watch where the feet are on this one-on-one full speed drill. The guy in red is the blocker. Okay. He braces and dips and lunges, gets his hands underneath and lifts rather than pushing. Again, now watch it again. A brace
no
step,
lead step. No lead
a
step.
dip step. See the left knee just dip. He
He's
lunges.
braced.
He's anchored. He's stable. He's rooted.
Watch this one.
Watch this guy. He hops. He gets his hand, his upper body's going forward. See, what old schoolers think is when your feet go back, that you're going backwards. He's lunging forward. It lengthens his body to lunge. So the distance between where his feet land and where he strikes is longer than if he stepped forward.
You want me to finish that one, Coach?
Yeah, see if there's any questions.
He's lifting.
Hey, Coach, I'm going to use the restroom. I'm pretty sure Coach probably got a question for you, all right? I'll be right back.
Okay.
I need to get a bottle like you, Coach. How's your bottle doing? Is it full yet?
No, I only got this much in there.
That's not bad, Coach.
Yep.
You get a cup.
My wife thinks it's disgusting when I put it next to my bed.
Hey, Coach. I again, I appreciate you saying that. With obviously, out with the lead step, because I've been saying that for years. But really, with that, I said, step with a purpose. You talk about bracing. Really, what that does, like you said, it lengthens you. Really does it drops your center of gravity where it needs to be to obviously lunge and go into that guy. Correct?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
The best blocks when you brace are either 1 foot behind.
Yep.
Okay. 2 feet behind, or the guy might be flexed a little bit, and you might have to foot fire first. Up, and then just before you strike, you brace or you lunge. But your feet are always either underneath you, 1 foot maybe behind the other, but it's not stepping into the block.
Right. Yeah.
No one other than a coach like you understands it that are old schoolers.
Yes, sir.
Most of the updated coaches kind of get it. That's why we had to change the name of a drop step to a brace step, because they all thought we were going backwards.
Right.
Your foot goes backwards, but you're going forward just as much as you would. And if you did lead step, that foot would be in your way. It's in your way. When you get that foot out of your way, you got more distance between your feet and your hands to strike. And plus our hands are striking like this now. I mean, like this, whether it's just this one, and this one, both of them. I mean, it's now. There is no shoulder blocks for me. There is no flipper blocks for me. It's all how fast can I be proactive? What I mean by proactive, how fast can that happen? Boom. Now I'm low, okay, and I'm dipping and I'm lifting. I'm under, and then I might lift. I'm under, I might lift. I'm under, I might drive and then throw them. But my initial contact is how fast can these, that means That means watch your kids closely on anybody's video. You will see this. You'll see even just a little bit of this. It's got to be boom, boom. It's from the ground up. From the ground. What we mean by the ground up, you don't touch the ground, but you're coming from low to middle. I didn't say low to high. You're
Right.
coming from low to middle right now. Right now. And there's not a coach out there that can send me any film that I won't see his kids drawing their arms back a little.
Coach,
I'll see some that are drawing them way back. And then the defensive guy hits them in the chest right now.
Yes.
We have a question from
Holy
Justin Trahan. Is that you
He's
say
my
it?
buddy. That's my
Yeah.
buddy.
He said there's no way that you can teach an offensive lineman to snap with both hands.
Let's just forget him because we've already had that discussion. We've already had that discussion. Tell him to smile.
Steve, have you ever seen a 14-year-old kid on a side street get taught to snap with both hands?
I was watching that the other day, what you were doing. I loved it. The
Coach McNally.
right back. I loved it.
So Justin Trahan doesn't get an answer.
We ought to block him, but I told him I wouldn't block him because I appreciate him at least consider. But why would anybody be negative? If you're negative, keep it to yourself. You know what I mean?
Hey Troy, make sure he tell him don't give it away because every time he's blocking to the left, don't block with your right hand, and if you go to the right, don't snap the ball with your left hand.
Yeah.
I
Here we
did
go.
it with 12, 13, 14-year-old kids in when I used to do camps, Football U, FBU. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, those are great videos. I've seen those, Coach. Yes.
Yes, that one kid that used that outside pillar on that power hook, he's in the NFL now.
Oh, that's outstanding. That's a great testimony to what you. That's great. That's a great testament, right there.
And I only coached him on it for about 10 minutes, but he was the best of the best, in that camp.
Yeah.
But there was another kid that did it too. But anyway, what do we got next, Coach? You look like a little pig eating. Are you fucking eating or are you moving the video?
Is it not working?
No.
Oh,
Hey,
Okay.
I'm sitting here.
Okay. Here, run it back.
Look, I'm
I
sitting
use
here
this-
looking at the film, and I didn't even know it wasn't even up.
Well, did we miss any?
Yeah, you missed
Okay,
a lot.
here's a look at a right tackle
Go back.
rooting his feet.
No, that is back.
He's on a
Huh? Oh, that
This
was
is
the
Okay,
start.
here's a look at a right tackle rooting his feet.
Is this the next one?
He's on a double team on duo.
Yes, sir.
So
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
watch
I
right
showed this before.
there.
Okay. Run it back
His
to where it
feet
started.
are rooted.
Running back.
He
Run
hops.
it back.
Okay, here.
Right there. Stop.
Okay, here's a look at a right
Stop.
tackle.
Okay. That right tackle's got to get squared up on that guy for whatever reason. Okay. So what he does, rather than just stepping forward or crossing over, he drops his left foot. I drop it a little deeper, but he moves it. I drop his left foot, then I'd move his right foot over, and then I'd lunge into him. Okay. Now this guy's probably 6'7". Okay. So it's hard for him to get real low, but he is getting some sort of movement because he's playing long with his hands. Okay. Now, let's say the play was going outside of him, I'd use the same footwork, but I'd have my head outside. Okay. If the play was going inside, I'd have the same footwork, but probably my head would be down the middle. Let's see what he does.
Called rooting his feet. He's on a double team on duo. So watch right there.
Okay, see where his feet are?
His feet are rooted. He hops, whatever you want to call it. He lifts, his feet are behind him. Okay. All right, now let's let it run.
6'7".
And he
Look
moves
at
the
that
guy.
movement. The reason he's getting movement
Okay.
is the defensive lineman's got to react to the ball. If the defensive guy just went straight ahead, he'd be wasting himself.
Both feet are rooted.
So that's bullshit that you're blocking too fucking high.
I've used this
You'd
clip
only be
before.
blocking too high
This guy's a good
if the
player.
guy
He plays
against you
guard for
just
somebody
went
now.
powered into you.
I think his name is
He'd never
Filer.
make any tackles.
Okay, we're
Unless
good.
You were running wide zone and you were
Rooted.
running your pads. Let her go. That's what you call rooted feet right there. Wait a minute now. What are you doing? Oh, no, let that go. Forget it.
Watch your pull-ups.
Let it go. There's two.
There's your book,
There's my book. I got it.
your sports notebook.
Okay. And with the ability to diagram.
I called it sports notebook. It was sports workbook.
That's all right, Coach.
Now, what are you doing? You're passing up all kinds of shit.
I know. I went back to the beginning, Coach. We have. It's going to take us a long time to go through all this. You've tweeted a lot this week.
Yeah.
All right, this is where you got into snapping the ball with one hand. We still haven't gone. We haven't done any of this.
You had a couple of Penn State clips there on
Yeah. Why are you going? You're going. Why are you doing that?
Because I'm on March 12th, Coach. I got to go back.
There you go.
We haven't looked at any of these.
Oh, okay.
There you go. See, that's the last thing we looked at right there, ain't it?
Okay, I got you.
Now we're here.
All right, now this is a drill I did when I was with the Bills, 2004. I called it an all-for-one drill. It was just a pass blocking drill, and I had the defensive guy make different moves, so you just didn't do one move. Isn't it stupid when we do a drill and the guy just does one move against you?
Yeah.
It's best if you have the guy do a move, then do another move, then go towards the quarterback. You know, the guy doesn't make more than one or two moves, you know what I mean? But this was just teaching kids that the defensive guy's not going to just stop, okay? I called this all for one. And we used to get beat inside. We'd actually butt block them.
I love it.
So that's a drill where you can incorporate, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, this is back in the day. And you can still do this. You can still do this now. But you can't be engaged with another guy. Watch. This is Munoz. Watch him right here. See him leg whip the guy? Watch the right tackle, Joe Walter.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Fuck him. Give it to him. I think it's a right guard. No, it's a left guard. Right? Left guard.
Yeah.
That's no flashing cut right there, man.
Yeah. All right. Go. The next one is the right guard, I think. 75, left guard. I'm sorry. He cut the looper. The guy that looped. And Munoz cut his guy too. We killed the Cowboy. Watch the next one. I think it's a right guard. Yeah, watch this right guard. That's a left guard. That's a left guard. He cut the looper.
That's awesome.
The right guard cut the guy too, but the center's hands was on him. Now here's the right guard. There's nobody helping him. Boom. Here's what I learned on that. You always cut with the opposite shoulder and arm to where the guy's going. If the guy's going to your inside, you use your outside shoulder and arm to throw. If the guy's going outside, you use your inside shoulder and arm to throw. We had to practice it, because they just wanted to duck their head and go straight ahead.
Yeah.
And that's so you can use your legs? You use your legs the way they're going?
Absolutely. You can't do it now.
Yeah. I remember that reverse crab.
But you can still cut them. Run it back. Run it back, please. Thank you, Coach. All right, if there are any questions there? Okay, good. All right, can you run it back, please? All right, this is just practicing alternate hands. The guy's using an outside hand and the inside lift. And then he goes the other way. Okay? Just a drill. But it's multiple hands or alternate hands. All right, this is a guy practicing a forward jump. Okay? Let's see what he does. Okay? He's not really doing much with his hands, but you see how they're going forward? And he's using a double clamp. He's doing a forward jump with a double clamp. He's doing a forward jump with a double pillar. Forward jump, double clamp. Look at his feet, foot fire. Why the hell would you set back?
Yeah, you create space that way. That's what they want.
Yeah. Now, this is your body posture. Okay, never mind. Go to the next one. All right, this is the body posture when you're jumping. Forget his hands. You see how he still arches his back? Whether you jump him with both feet going forward or an up kick. Okay. So now the guy's a little wide, so he foot fires first. Okay. Now he's using the snatch. See how tight he is around the neck? And then he snaps him down. Okay, now he tried an up kick. He went a little too far, but he still adjusted. This is moving forward. Moving laterally with a forward jump. They're not doing an up kick yet. How many of you coaches back straight up? He's working laterally first because the guy's wide. Let it go. I got some better ones. Here's like a guard foot firing on like a 4-eye. All right, that's Scott Peters. See, on the left, It's got different angles of the
Your angle
feet.
sets, okay? The various degree angle sets of everything in the basis of sets, strikes, and counters. So angle A, you guys are familiar. I'm not going to cover all these. Angle A, B, and C, these are angle sets, okay? The various degree angle sets. FJ is a forward jump. RJ is a run jump. We'll use on run action protections. A P is a post. An S is a settle, which we'll have guards settle off on short lifts versus like 3 down fronts where we're worried about pick stunts. And a U is an up kick. Okay, a strikes 1, 2, pillar, 3 under, 4 clamp, 5 snatch. You guys got that figured out. And finally, counters. So we're working counters. We won't call out the counters because we're not sure what the counters will be. But we can anticipate probably everything in the basis of set.
All right, this is a guy. Now, the reason the only reason I don't like this drill is the sled doesn't come at the guy. Okay, but it just shows you, like the gorilla in the zoo, before you strike, your feet should be rooted. You gather yourself. Is that a good word? He gathers.
Yeah.
Great word.
He dips his ass and he strikes. Watch him gather himself.
Guy right here. Foot fire. The guy's further away from you. Now the defender or the sled should come at the guy because there's no way that a guy just sits there. But this is just showing foot fire, both feet bracing into the ground, dipping. See the ass drop? Okay. See the lift? See the climb? See where the feet are on contact? This is what I'm talking about. You can't do this going through the chutes. You can't drop your tail because you'll hit your head. When you drop your tail, okay, you're strongest like a gorilla in the zoo. Okay? See the foot fire? See the rooted feet on contact? See where his feet are? They're under him. End of story.
Now, here's an example
To
of a
block
guy
this,
moving laterally and lunging. The guy on defense is coming at him. The blocker's got his feet under him or behind him. And watch the power that he has when he strikes. Okay, Coach.
this guy, okay? Watch how the defender comes forward. If you're having guys hold bags or hit sleds that don't come at the guy, you're wasting all of that time that you've done over all those years. It's just a time taker-upper. Okay, so watch this guy right here. Okay? So watch the defensive guys charging forward. The blocker's actually trying to get square, so he scoots. He loses a little ground, okay? And then he lunges. His feet are rooted right there. See his feet root right there? Okay, I want to show you his feet right there. They're rooted, okay? All right. Watch the defensive guy charge. Watch the blocker lunge into the block. Okay, see. If you're not having guys come at your blocker, you're wasting all the drills that you've done over the years. The guy you're blocking's got to come forward, whether he's holding a shield, whether it's 3/4 live, whether it's live action versus the D line. Trust me, the man on defense has to come forward or move or slant, etc.
Practice hitting a moving target.
Step.
Coach, you want to talk about this one? Okay. Wyatt's out here. He wants to know, when lingering out to you, Coach, the fire out more vertical or horizontal, what angle? Lunging. When lunging out to you, Coach, the fire out more vertical or horizontal?
Ass is down. You're hitting on the rise. On the rise. On the rise. Let me go back here. On the rise. You're lifting the guy. If you can't lift him, you torque him. You're playing long, long, long. Let it go.
This is why you may have to lose a little ground with your first step.
Now the guy with
Then the
the guy
second
is
step
not
comes
coming forward at him. Okay, so this is a useless drill
back
because the guy is
to
not
get you
coming
squared
really
up
at him.
on a guy that's wide. Let's watch this guy. Okay. Watch his feet.
This is just an introduction.
Okay. It's like first step goes back, second step comes parallel, and he lunges into the block with his feet rooted. Okay. Let's watch this guy's feet.
So this is okay to teach when you're first starting, but when you really get into it after a day or two, the defensive guy's got to come at him.
Okay.
Like we saw that other guy, 68.
You have to lose ground to gain ground.
All right, go to the next one. All right. Listen, let's stop. No. No one will understand this. You will not understand this. So you're going to say, fuck you, coach. I'm not that stupid. Okay, this is called stuffing. Okay, let's say the guy you're blocking is on you or in front of you. He's on the front side, and he works to your backside shoulder. And the linebacker's free. So this is like a center versus a front side 1 or 3 that slants to his backside shoulder. The center passes him off to the backside guard. We call this stuffing. And as he works upfield, his backside foot is high. Now, is there anybody out there that wants me to explain it again? I'm afraid you will not understand it. Okay.
Is up on the center's backside shoulder, and the center's got to get the linebacker. The center stuffs him to the backside guard before
Watch
he
how
gets
long
up on
they
the
play.
backer.
Watch how the
Okay,
length of
let's
the
see
arm.
what kind of positions we have here now. Okay. See, he's going to put him on the backside guard because he's in that gray area on the
The
backside.
gray area is what
He's gonna
kills you
come off
guys.
for,
The
say,
gray area.
Number 76 standing back there is his linebacker. He's stuffing him.
Watch
watch
how
a
his
high
inside
leg.
foot is high. You're
Okay.
more balanced. This would be
Let's
the
say
right
this is the
tackle,
tackle.
passing him off
And
into
that
that
guy ends up
gray
in the
area,
gray
in that
area.
slight
He's
inside
going to stuff
forearm.
him back to the guard. This would be more on a mid or wide zone. Okay. This would be the right guard. Okay. That 3 technique
Here
ends
comes
up
the
in
center.
a 1. So
See
he's
where the
going to
center's
stuff
gonna
him
fit?
back to the center. Okay. This would be the right tackle. He's going to stuff him back to the right guard.
It's called
Okay.
stuffing.
See, he's got a high leg. This would be the center going to his left.
Watch how
See
long he plays.
Okay. This would be a 1 technique. He's going to
Your
stuff
kids
him
play that
to
long
the
with their
backside
arms.
guard while he goes up and gets a linebacker.
No, they don't.
Anybody in the gray area. Okay. Okay. This could be the left tackle. See how long he's playing with his hands? This would be the left guard. See him scoot his feet, play long, and stuff him.
Watch this.
Okay.
Watch when the center, I'll show
Okay,
you when
this
the
would be
center.
the left tackle.
This is how long you should
stuffing
play
to the
with
left
your arms.
guard.
You don't even need a helmet.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, any questions on stuffing the guy back to the inside? Not the guy that just slants to your buddy, the guy that plays the back door.
Wyatt says,
Is your next guy going to fit in there? And is the lead guy going to put him back on the guy coming from the backside?
Wyatt says it's keeping your hips open to your zone gap.
but you have to have a high inside leg and you got to gallop to the second level. If your feet are parallel, you'll fall on your face. So as you're galloping up to the second level and passing the guy off, okay? No, stop it. Is there any questions
No,
on
sir.
the stuff? I'll guarantee you none of you do it. Now, you may put a hand on the guy that slants, but I'm saying that little gray area where the guy ends up inside of you and then the next guy comes and you both get tied on the guy.
Yeah.
The outside guy's got to put him back on the inside guy, even if the inside guy's trying to kill him. One guy may be trying to stuff him back and the other guy may try to hammer him. That's okay, because the hammer guy may may hammer him so hard it doesn't matter that you've stuffed him. Okay, now these are tight ends. Okay,
Coach,
what?
with that stuffing, when the guy's stuffing, I mean, obviously, he's waiting for the depth of the linebacker to come through. He's not piercing too fast, correct? To help all that timing out, correct?
Yeah, because the down guy
right.
is hanging on his inside.
Yep. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, now this is on a mid or wide zone where the tight ends just don't leave the defensive end and go to the linebackers right now. They're trying to stuff the defensive end to the tackle, to their inside. So these are tight ends alone.
Stuffing the 6 or 7 technique to the tackle who should shuffle on mid to wide zone. Okay, let's watch. See how they're going to second level, but only when the tackle fits in.
That would be like the right tight end, stuffing the 7, and then up on the backer. They just don't leave the guy. Watch how long they're playing. Watch the length of their arms.
Feet are behind them.
Is this the length of your guy's arms?
Okay. This would be the right end. All right. He doesn't just leave the 7 technique before he goes up to the backer. This is the right end. Feet rooted. Stuffs him. Goes up to the backer, wide zone. This guy here is kind of coming with a cross shove.
That's a devastating blow.
Really, like, swing his arms to belt that guy.
He's really trying to stuff him with a backhand.
Okay, let's watch
the tight end.
Watch the tight end's feet. He kind of hops, he roots. He just doesn't leave. Tackle kind of shuffles. Eyes on the backer. Mid to wide zone. See the
only reason I say mid to wide zone, it's
stuffing.
Mid zone blocking, but wide zone action by the back.
Get square. Okay. Now the tackle should shuffle. He's not.
The tight end should, if that guy goes inside too far, the tight end should use just his inside hand. Don't turn your pad so much. Turn the turret, not the tank.
All right, so Wyatt has some questions. Switching your feet, taking step forward so hips open to gap. To feet, good there. Tight end's feet, good there, question mark.
I don't know which one. We looked at about 7 of them.
Inside foot should be upright.
As you're moving upfield, the inside foot should be forward.
Watch the tight end stuff the 9 to the tackle. Watch the tackle shuffle. Okay.
Yeah, he turns a little. He should go with
What's
that
the tight end's
inside
feet?
foot high.
He's
But watch his
rooted.
original strike.
Playing
His
long.
feet are behind him. And he
Stuffs
just
him to
doesn't
the right
leave.
tackle.
He just doesn't leave the defensive end. He stuffs him.
Okay.
Oh, look
There
at
it
that
is
stuff.
again.
Boom.
Tackle shuffles. Because he
The guy's
doesn't know
that
the
far
three's
inside,
not going
stuff
to
it
jump
with your
out.
inside hand.
Watch the tight
Don't
end's
use
feet.
two hands.
He roots. He stuffs. Does your guy stuff to the next guy?
Don't just fucking leave. You'll have two guys tied on the defensive end.
Coach, whether you're stuffing, shuffling, scooting, you still want all your cleats in the ground at the point of attack and while you are staying grounded, correct?
Yes, your
Yep.
feet are in the ground, and then as you move and you're stuffing, you get to a gallop. You get to an inside high leg.
Yes.
This guy.
You want to talk about this one or let it play, Coach?
Okay,
There
the
is
guy,
why
the
the tight end.
linebacker's outside. So the tight end could say, oh, geez, I'm just going to leave the guy. But watch what the tight end does even when the backer's outside.
Just doesn't want to leave this guy to get this guy. Watch the combination here, okay? All right, watch the tackle shuffle, which means he doesn't vacate right now. See, he's looking at the backer. Watch the tight end. His feet are rooted. Watch the tackle. He shuffles and then
he hammers him.
hammers, that's a word we use, the defensive end, then up to the backer. Tight end does not vacate.
So the tight end may be trying to stuff him while the tackle hammers him. It doesn't matter. Whichever's the most powerful wins. Whichever the most powerful technique, the stuff or the hammer.
Let's watch this one. Tight end could easily leave thinking he's got to get 35, but watch what happens. Tackle shuffles. He should shuffle a little deeper. Okay.
This is like a torque and hammer.
And watch him hammer. That's the word we use when you knock a guy out or in. Okay. The tight end's actually trying to stuff him, but the tackle's hammer overplays the stuff. So one guy can be stuffing and the other guy hammer or knock him out. And watch the combination.
And the ball still goes outside.
Tight end doesn't just leave.
Because the backer filled.
Let's watch that again.
Okay, this is just looking at the feet of when you make contact.
Okay.
Square. We call it like a
the
big
feet
tree. The
and the
roots of a big
knees
tree go out.
of a big tree. Okay. The roots go out and the blocker feet go out like a duck and knees go out. There's the feet and the knees of a big.
Okay, this is talking about clogging. The defensive guy tries to refit his hands underneath the offensive guy. The offensive guy's on the right. So watch the offensive guy drive his elbow down to prevent the defensive guy from getting his hand underneath.
This
could be used on a pass or a
Pretend
run.
this guy's the defensive guy and this guy's the blocker. This guy, the defensive guy, tries to get his inside hand underneath the blocker.
The outside hand.
Inside win. Watch the blocker, okay, as this guy tries to get his hands inside. Watch the blocker drive his elbow down and not allow this guy, the defensive guy, to get his hands inside of him. Let's watch.
Yeah, that was his inside hand. I'm sorry. You see what the the blocker does? There you go. Do you coach this?
Could be used on a pass or a run when the defensive guy tries to refit his hand underneath your hand. You drive that elbow down to your chest. Okay. I got it a little too. Okay, here it is again. This guy here is driving his elbow down. I hope it's not confusing you. Right there. Watch the guy on the left. See the guy on the left drive his elbow down? Let's watch it again. Part of the blocking progression.
Okay, this is another shot of the knees and the feet before you strike. The big tree is how we call it. That's where you're the most powerful, when your feet are rooted. You don't see weightlifters take a step forward. All right, now this is an example. If you knew a guy was just a straight bull rusher, I would jump him forward and use a double under. I think this guy.
This is a double under technique.
But this is just showing the hands
really
underneath
versus only
versus a bull rush.
pure bull rusher, whether you jump them or not. Okay, here we go. Okay. See, you come under the guy, and that's the strongest position rather than punching him higher. Both hands under.
And he should jump him with a double
down. He stopped and hugged Alex Rodriguez, and he got boom. Perfect. Down, we were on the.
Okay.
Down, we were on the. Down, we
So
were
this
on
guy
the,
braces,
down, we were on
roots,
the, down, we were on
and
the
he
field.
uses a double
Down, we were
under
on the
versus
field
a
last
straight
night.
bull rush. Now this is just a drill, okay?
Tracy was
See, when you come
But
under
see how
the
you
guy,
snap
lift
the
him
back,
out
you
of
get
his
underneath
shoes.
the guy
You
and you
take
lift
his
him. See the
momentum,
lift? See the
and
lift? You take
You
his
apply it
momentum and
against
you
him.
lift him. Double under is used versus a straight bull rush. If you know that guy does it, okay?
Let's see what this is. Let it go.
He's walked away. Okay, here's an example of an under defense. There's a tight end. There's
This
no
was a
Sam.
stupid statement.
He's walked
by one
away.
guy. Stop
Okay,
it right there.
it's probably a 3-by-1. They're going to
Stop
creep the safety.
Okay. The Sam has walked away because it's a 3-by-1. There's two wide receivers. But you see that safety to the left creep over?
Yeah.
They're going to bring the Sam. They're going to bring the outside backer to the right. So that center should abort blocking back and turn out on the Sam that's going to blitz. The right guard should work laterally because the end is going to pinch and they're going to use the old tackle inside backer fire zone. You know, the slant, the scrape, and the outside backer. Okay? Now, how do they know this? Because they got to read the safeties. I'll bet you the other safety to the side of the two receivers is coming down because that wide defender over the inside receiver is going to pinch. Let it go.
Over, okay, and they're going to do a conventional fire zone. All right, when you spot any of these crazy things, they should check this guy off to turn out, and everybody should zone block. Watch the fire zone. Okay, here
you
we
don't
go.
block the end, but that's
All
better
right.
than taking a loss from that guy
Okay.
right there.
All right, pretend
Watch
if the
the
tight
right
end
guard,
turns
what he
out
does.
on that slot corner. Pretend if the right guard and right tackle zone block. Pretend if the backside guard blocks the cross face. That's why zone is zone. You always should protect the front side gap. Okay? Now, the issue would be, do you really spot the nickel Sam or the Sam backer coming? Maybe you don't. But anyway, to do it like this is not really sound because everybody moves, slants, pirates, fire zones, etc. This is a zone read. Okay, he gave the ball.
So what they thought was they didn't think that slot
the guy
closes,
closes, so he wraps
he's
around
covering
him.
the inside receiver.
Anyway,
but when they cheated the safeties over,
I don't think this is good football. Okay, is this you? Okay.
This is when you got the 9 with the jacket.
Yeah. Look I think I went all the way down. And hold it.
There you go.
When you hold it all the way down, it's harder to pull yourself all the way up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to 10. The Marine Corps is going to take me, even at age 80, if I can get to 10 where I hold it all the way down.
Yeah.
I can do about 30 just simple ones, but when you go all the way down, oh my God, it's hard to do. And I got a jacket on too.
Oh,
okay, let this go. Let this go. I don't want to argue with that guy from Texas.
Impressive.
Okay. This is the kid snapping the ball with his right hand. This is the kid snapping the ball with his left hand. He should put the ball out a little further, of course. Okay. And here he's just snapping it, and the ball's on edge. Right? He's never done this before.
This is on a side street in Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah, he picked him up from a basketball game.
Yeah. He was playing against a 7-year-old. Yeah. Look at these guys.
Troy, that's in Richmond, Virginia.
So
that's
this guy,
that's right.
This guy was a nice guy, but he was making a big deal. Listen, I snapped with my right hand. I just changed easily and snapped with my left hand. Simple, whether you have the ball on end or not. Okay, now there's a zero nose. So this guy made a hell of a point. What the fuck's the difference which hand you snap it with? And if you put it up on the tip, it's easier to flip it back, particularly on the shotgun.
Yeah. That kid played he played center for us as an 8th grader and a 9th grader.
Okay, here's how to stop the wide zone.
Oh.
Watch the guy on the right guard. Stop it.
All right. So again.
Stop. The right guard's turning and blocking on an angle. Okay? Like wide zone people teach. The defensive guy's two-gapping him. He's bullying him. He's knocking him straight back. Watch him knock him right into the quarterback. He's not staying square.
Okay, this clip shows a right guard on a stretch play being two-gapped by a 3 technique and knocking him right back, all right? So again,
watch his hands.
All right, watch this, all right?
Him out like
the defender hits him with his helmet in his hands before the blocker can get his hands inside, okay? Watch the blocker draw his hands back. I'll go real slow, okay? Watch the right guard right here. Watch his arms draw back, all right? So I'm trying to speed this thing up. All right, see his arms draw. See that right there? If you get hit in the chest with a helmet or whatever before your hands are inside, you're done. Plus his shoulders are turned. I think he needs to be square, okay, and use that outside proactive punch, then the inside lift. A two-gapper, when you turn your pads and cross your feet, see his feet cross? I'll show it again. Watch his feet cross right there, right? You're dead. Okay, whatever it's worth. Goodbye.
Next play, same shit. I believe this is the right guard. Watch when the center doesn't get the gray area. Watch when the right guard gets knocked back and doesn't stuff the guy. So they're doing everything wrong. The right guard's turning on an angle. The center's piercing, not shuffling deep where he can pick up that gray area to hammer. The guard's not square enough to stuff. And look what happens to the right guard. It's knocked right back. Here it is again. Watch the right tackle. He crosses his feet. Watch the right guard. He doesn't shuffle. He tries to just stick a hand out and go upfield right now. He's too fast. I should be talking through this.
Oh, you want the voiceover?
Run through.
Yeah.
So obviously New England knows what they're doing. All right. Watch the front side guard and tackle block a wide zone combo block. 93 comes underneath, all right, because the right tackle goes too far. He's not square. He's not foot firing, okay? The right guard can hammer him back to the tackle and then climb on the backer, but not if the right tackle overplays the guy. Watch the backside guard. The center and the backside guard are trying to, the center's trying to go past the nose and the backside guard's trying to cut the nose. Look at the backside backer run through. So the center needs to stay square, shuffle, don't vacate, and the backside guard needs to shuffle. He's either thinking hammer and then climb up on the backer. But they are very confused the way New England's playing the wide zone with the two gapping of the down linemen and the run through of the backers. Interesting.
Go to the next one. Same thing, I think. This is Buffalo. Watch the guy over the left guard. Play the music.
It's the center, okay, or the nose guard. To the center. One more reminder of two gap players. Okay, watch the center, okay, or the nose guard. See how he drives straight ahead to the center and see how the center turns and rips? Watch the center get flattened out. In fact, the center doesn't block anybody. Are we good with 97, the nose, on a two-gap technique? He plays the back door, actually. Watch 95, Kyle Williams over the left guard. See him two-gap the guy, come straight ahead, okay? Knocks the shit out of the guard. Okay, watch 53, the outside backer. Watch the tackle turn on an angle, okay?
Nobody's staying
Two-gap
square.
the fuck out of him, okay? Watch the wing back. Watch 55, two-gap the fuck out of him, okay? All right, so these are not people that play in the gap and penetrate in the gap or pinch way in or way out. If you're not seeing this type of stuff, these plays will all work. If you're seeing two-gap players, you have to have a good plan. I hope I've made an impression on everyone as far as what two-gapping means. That means you knock the shit out of somebody, generally play underneath with your inside part of your body, leveraging to the inside, your inside arm free, whatever you want to call it, whatever. Okay, two-gap.
Play the music.
Defensive end. Okay, here's an issue when the defensive end, the forward technique just comes straight ahead, and the forward technique just comes straight ahead, all right, two gap, and the guard doesn't help him, okay? Now I'm going to go right to play 42, 43, all right? Here's the same issue, okay? All right, watch the three technique. He goes straight ahead. All right. He splits that gap because he doesn't really pinch to the center. He doesn't go out. He just two gaps. Issues. Okay.
Play it.
The defensive tackle. More of the same. Watch the defensive tackle.
Somebody was a smartass and said if we had Donald, they
Here's
could do that
Donald.
too. Some smartass out there.
Here's
It
Donald.
wouldn't matter if it's Donald or not. The guy over the left guard went to the inside.
Here's Frisco. Here's Donald. Here's Donald going in, but the backer's free. Donald going in, but the
No
backer's
center
free.
help, no center shuffle.
More of the same. Watch the defensive tackle.
Here's Donald. Here's Donald.
Center's left guard's not square. Center didn't score. Okay, next one. We saw this.
Here's Frisco.
Okay.
Same Kansas
so the
City.
uncovered guy should do like Kansas City center does. If you're uncovered
Same Kansas
guard,
City center. Deep shuffle to the
uncovered
left.
tackle, uncovered end. Watch
Here's
the
what
center.
the uncovered guy should do on wide zone. Okay, watch the center.
All right.
Pretend he's a guard or
Kansas
a tackle.
City center going to his right. See the
that
second
gr-
step go back.
See that gray
See
area?
the second step go back. See the second step. See the second step go back. See the hand check. Okay. Same Kansas City center. Deep shuffle to the left. Mid to wide zone. Same thing, Kansas City. So they know how to do this stuff.
Yeah.
Watch that last one. He
Here's a college
rewinds
kid.
back. If you can, put it back to the back.
Deep
play,
shuffle.
play. Yeah, this one. Watch him. He
Same
starts
thing,
play
Kansas
side.
City. So they know how to do
They
this
all
stuff.
slant. So he isn't in such a hurry. He can't help the backside guard.
Here's a college kid.
Watch the center.
Deep shuffle. Working to his right to that linebacker that's plussed. Here's another one. Center going to his left. Deep shuffle. Ends up hammering. Same thing here. Center going to his right. Deep shuffle. Hand checks.
RPO.
Now the center's covered, but he knows it's like a 3-4 solid front where they can pinch hands, etc.
That end could
Even
come
though
all
he's
the way
covered,
in
he
the
shuffles
A-gap.
deep. Moving to his left, shuffling deep. Moving to his right, wide zone, even though it's the gun. He could put a little more hand check on that first guy, but good job.
He picked up a cross dog.
And here-
Coach, I think we've hit 2.5 hours.
I mean, how many more do we have?
It don't fucking matter. I'm done. We'll quit right there.
We did it, Coach. 2.5 hours.
And they're the same clips that I've played, but not everybody maybe saw them or understood them, or maybe they'll watch them later. It's all the same stuff. I mean, over and over and over. I'm not a piercing guy. I protect the gap on zone. Zone is zone is zone is zone. Protect your front side gap. Okay? And if the guy that's coming from your backside gap, okay, you better be under control enough that you can go back and rewind on him. It's not rocket science.
No, not at all. All right, Steve. All right, Steve. Coach McNally said he's done.
Hey, great night. Great night. Thank you.
This is
You're
the best
welcome.
one we've done.
It really is. I'm telling you, I'm going to review this with all my notes as we're talking. This is going to be great. This is awesome. Thank you.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you got something out of it.
100%, Coach. Thank you so much.
Make sure that you go visit CoachTube and buy some of Coach McNally's videos.
That's only after Coach Tube takes my 300 and some videos and bundles them into a particular thing. Anything I've done 8 or 9 years ago is old because I always change. Don't buy any old shit.
Right.
Only buy anything new, and make sure if you buy something new from CoachTube that you ask them, how recent is that? Because I'm like a fickle woman that some night she'll fuck your brains out and some night you can't get to first base. I change all the time.
Well, you got to adapt, right? Absolutely.
I hope there's no women listening.
Hey, now when you say recent, you're talking about like 2018 and on, or what year?
Well, I would say within the last 5 years.
Okay. All right.
Then we got Pro Coach. If anybody's got a player, pro, college, high school.
Or I imagine a coach could do it. He could send his video to CoachTube. They would contact me, and now those would be
Pro
the only
Coach.
two.
Pro Coach.
Pro Coach. CoachTube is different than Pro Coach.
And
on both
YouTube.
of them, I would get paid something. I don't know what. Probably not a whole hell of a lot. But bottom line is, I can't keep doing this for nothing.
You love it.
I'm educating the world, and all I'm doing is getting tired.
Yeah. How full is your bottle?
The piss bottle, I didn't piss yet again.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
You look pretty hydrated.
I am
Okay.
hydrated.
Now we're not going to do it next Tuesday because you got something to do, don't you, Coach?
Yes, I do. I forget what the fuck it is, but I think I might be able to, but because I think the guy I was going to coach canceled. But again, what are we going to keep doing? We keep doing these videos over and over and over and over. Is that what we keep doing?
I mean, I think you just go over all 250 tweets that you send out every week. And you just recap them all. I mean, you went over every single tweet.
I love it.
You sent.
Well, I don't know. I think we'll probably can do it next week, but I'll check my schedule.
You'll check your schedule.
I love it.
Okay. I'll talk to you in the morning, Coach.
Okay, pal. Bye-bye.
All right.
Thank
See
you.
Steve.
Thank
Bye,
you.
y'all.